We are live.
All right, hello everyone, welcome back to the Kia Hyundai channel. My name's Gabby.
And my name's Mike.
And if you read the title of this video, you saw that it also says meet the owner of this beautiful 2022 Hyundai Veloster N with modifications. Mike's not the owner.
No, not me.
We'll bring him in a second. But first off, we want to start off with our usual live intro. And if you do want to get into the actual walkthrough of this vehicle and you're watching in the future, skip to around the 3 or 4 minute mark. That's when we'll actually go through everything and point out what's been done to this vehicle and what comes stock.
Yeah.
So as always, we do these videos every single weekday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we do them for 3 separate reasons. Number one.
All right, so if you own a Hyundai or a Kia and you're looking for more information about your car, or you're looking to do some modifications on your vehicle, this is the channel to be, guys. So we do full reviews, full walkarounds, design, interior, technology, convenience, safety. Updates, yeah, and everything you need to know, right, to obviously maintain and learn more about your vehicle. Mm-hmm. Number two, if you're in the market for a new vehicle, we want you to add Kia or Hyundai, or even both, to your selection list. These vehicles offer great value, great performance, and they're just amazing to look at. Once in a while, we'll do a video like this where we talk about all the extra things you can do with these vehicles. And the truth is, these vehicles are so customizable, so personable, and we really want to show you all the options to make your vehicle yours. Then number three. Perfect. Number three, if you live in Ontario and you have definitely 100% decided to buy a Kia or a Hyundai from any than any of our competitors. See, this is live. Why not buy from us, right? We've got 3 locations. Obviously, you know, Brantford Kia here. Down the street, we have Brantford Hyundai. And then up north, we have Owen Sound Hyundai. And obviously, we would be happy to help you guys with your purchase decision and, you know, join you for your journey with your new vehicle. All right. And more specifically, you mentioned buy it from us. Literally, buy it from us. Today we have Wes with us. Wes is a salesperson at our Brantford Hyundai location, and Mike, yes, I'll let you take it away. Scoot in here. Okay, yes, because he's working with me, I'd love to introduce you guys to Wes Walker. The name Walker, all he has is fast cars, so it kind of contradicts this, but he actually is a new addition to our sales team. Anything and everything Hyundai, he knows, he's passionate about. He has two actually N's at home, right? You have the Kona N, and you have this Veloster N. So anything N line 2 especially, this is the guy to come see. We'll include his email afterwards in the description. And if you want to reach out and buy directly from him, you can. So I'm done talking. Wes is going to do a lot of talking about the customization he's done on his car. But yeah, welcome to the team, Wes.
Thank you very much. It's been a really fun journey so far. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing where we can go from here.
Awesome. And I know that's genuine and he's having fun and not just because we're on camera.
No,
all right.
not so much.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. I'm going to take the camera. Are we going to show them how to get on, or are we going to?
They know how to get on.
All right, guys.
All right, so guys, if you're not new to this channel and you've seen our walkthroughs before, you know it's almost usually entirely a new Kia or Hyundai vehicle. So I'm going to be boring and give you the stock specs and all the stock information. And Wes is going to tell us about everything that he's done to this vehicle. All right, so starting off with what's under the hood. Now our engine is still the same, correct?
Correct. It's still stock format. Just been a few updates in the sense of cosmetic looks, as well as it does have a flash tune from a good buddy of mine from N75 Motorsports up in Mississauga, Ontario.
Local.
Yeah. He's been really instrumental in helping me put the car together and getting it into the best format that I've been able to get to at this point. There is still a lot more planned, but those are secret details at this point that I'm still kind of ironing out. So
stay tuned.
Yeah.
All right, speaking of tuned, I'm going to talk about what comes with the vehicle when it's not tuned. So this vehicle is equipped standard with a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. The horsepower output is 275 and the torque is 260 pound-feet of torque. Now, what does your tune include?
So it does have revisions to the transmission as well as the software itself. It's actually dynoed at 275 wheel horsepower as opposed to just engine horsepower. The tune also revises the shift points as well as the burble map and also the fueling to accommodate a lot more fuel just to get that added horsepower. Right. Other than that, there's some secret stuff that he's put in there, which makes it kind of spicy, but it is certainly
talk about let those secrets.
Yeah.
Tell us about this intake right here, man.
Can we?
Is it a secret?
No, that's from Forge Motorsports. Basically allows for a lot more airflow into the big 10-inch filter. The cover on there is simply because when I changed the hood out, the water coming through the vents doesn't mix so well. But there's a lot of stuff done from Forge Motorsports. The dual catch cans as well as the coolant reservoir. And then cosmetically, we have the carbon fiber engine cover, and then the coolant hoses. There are still more to be put on.
Nice.
Yeah, as far as engine-wise, that's kind of where I'm at this point. Like I said, there's definitely more planned, but it is...
Exactly. What's this one? I know what it is, I'm just asking.
So Pierce Motorsports out of the US designs this upper strut bar. I also have the 2-point brace underneath the car, as well as the 4-point brace from them. It just really stiffens up the ride for track days, as well as some more aggressive back
Yeah.
road driving,
Yeah,
we'll say.
exactly.
Everyday driving.
It helps eliminate the body roll as well as the chassis flex. So
Perfect.
it's a very noticeable upgrade for those that have done strut bars. It allows that cornering aspect to be that much more aggressive.
Oh yeah, I drove it safely and I realized that. Okay, Gabby.
All right, so again, talking about what's stock, I absolutely love this exterior color, and this is performance blue. Now, Wes has a Kona at home, which is also...
Also performance blue, yeah.
Do you like this color?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Me too. This blue is stunning, and it really makes the vehicle pop.
Yeah, initially I hadn't been a big fan of it, but now owning it and seeing the stuff that they've released that kind of matches with it, it does certainly grow on you.
Stands out.
That and being Hyundai's kind of flagship color,
Right.
it's a very appreciated color out there.
Absolutely.
I've got something I noticed. Did this come with it like this, or did you change that?
No, it's just some vinyl overlay to
Nice, a little bit of touches.
blend it
Nice.
in. But
Okay.
So that's my next talking point. Now, a lot of your front grille area is standard, but there's some differences.
yeah.
So carbon fiber is a big one.
Yeah,
It's a
so
common theme.
I do like carbon fiber, yep.
Yep.
So the front lip is actually based off of the concept car that Hyundai released when they initially were releasing the Veloster N spec. So it's based off of that, as well as the front canards. They kind of were not readily available, so I actually had to import those from South Korea from a really good friend over there. So it was a little bit of a chore to get,
Yep.
but getting them now has been, it just changes the whole front end
Yeah.
attitude.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It has a really mean front end. The entire vehicle looks pretty mean, in a good way.
Thank you.
I think they noticed a carbon fiber hood too as well.
Oh.
Yes. We'll close that.
Yeah, let's
or-
close it up.
Close it?
Let's look at the car now, yeah. Oh, you've added this too? So this doesn't come stock.
No, so those are just upper, basically,
Make life easier.
exactly. So for going to the shows or working on it, you don't have the hood prop in the way. You can actually get
Awesome.
to things and
Awesome. So let's close it up and you get the full look.
oops.
All right.
Super light.
Very lightweight. I was gonna say sometimes I struggle with the hoods. Like I actually have to put some work into it. This very, very lightweight. And then of course you got vents for airflow.
Yeah, so it does actually work quite nicely in allowing the hot air to escape the hood. It's a little bit of an issue with the rain if it does get left outside in the rain, but other than that, I've solved that with the cover. And
Awesome.
Sweet. Next thing, wheels.
So much on this.
There's a lot to cover. So standard on the Veloster N, I was about to say Elantra N, you get 19-inch alloy wheels, very, very sporty looking, very nice looking, with Pirelli P0 tires. Now Wes, what have you done? Because these are not stock.
no, so I opted for staying with the 19-inch overall. So the fronts are 19 by 8 with a plus 39 offset, and then it's the same spec in the rear, but what I did is I went with a 235/35/19 tire in the front, and then a 235/40/19 in the rear, just to fill up the wheel wells and eliminate some of the tire gap.
Nice.
All right.
Along with doing that, I'm lowered on H&R coils. No, sorry, H&R springs, I apologize. And then I've got the front setup is actually the OEM camber bolt, because the DCT model does come with a -1 degree camber in the front just to compensate for the added weight of the transmission. So they've actually been put at their most aggressive camber in the fronts. And then the rear, I have the white line suspension upper control arms, adjustable control arms, to compensate and allow for a little bit more camber there as well as the lower sway bar. So it handles quite aggressively, but it's perfect. It fits the attitude of the car very nicely, we'll say. But.
All right, side skirts.
So side skirts and the rear diffuser part are from Adro. They have both a US and a Korean location. These were actually supplied by JRP out of Toronto. They've been really good at helping get some of the more rare parts that I've tried to get, which shipping from certain parts of the world are not the best, but they do stock them as well. So it's been a good little progress with that.
All right.
The gearheads are definitely on today because we got a ton of questions to answer after this.
Oh.
I'm telling you.
That's not a problem.
All right, and I knew when I heard that we were filming a modified Veloster N today, I was like, there's definitely going to be something done to the exhaust. I was a little concerned that depending on whatever was done, it may not work well with Hyundai's active exhaust system. But Wes, you reassured me that everything's good. Explain.
Yeah, so I selected the MBRP, which is a Canadian company. They're actually based out of Huntsville, I believe it is. So it actually uses the OEM motor to maintain the active exhaust.
Right.
So it'll still work like an OEM. It'll funnel everything through the left side for normal and eco mode, and then for sport mode, and then when you go into full N, it just adjusts the valve accordingly.
Right.
It's very noticeable, and I absolutely love the tone. It's a really nice, deep, rich tone.
Yes.
But when the pops and bangs happen, that's part of the N75 spice as well. It's very noticeable,
Right.
which I'm sure you can attest to if you...
Yeah, I drove it so slow on the way here. Come on.
When I first drove it, I was extremely impressed with how well the active exhaust works. I was worried about it still being very noisy and could sometimes be a pain in the butt if you live in a very quiet neighborhood, starting your car in the morning. But eco mode, normal mode really kind of dulls things down.
Yeah, it muffles it down nicely. I call that neighborhood mode.
Yes.
It's one of the things you don't want to really make your neighbors upset, so coming home, putting it into the normal mode or eco, it tones it down a little bit, enough that they don't come out of their house waving
Exactly.
at you.
Exactly.
They don't hate you.
I know you spoke about this in the front, but what is that?
So that's the rear upper brace from Pierce Motorsports. It just ties the two upper points together. Kind of like a rear sway bar, or not sway bar, sorry, strut bar, but it goes through, I believe it's the seatbelt points, so
Okay, cool.
just stiffens the rear up a little bit more.
Nice. Get a little angle. Yep, you could close that off now, man.
Sure.
Spoiler. Let's talk about this. Yeah, I heard you say a little bit about it, so...
So the spoiler is from SoCal Garage, based out of California. It is modeled after the concept Veloster that was released when they were bringing out the N. Unfortunately, the OEM one that they had, I couldn't track down who made it, so this was the closest that I could find. So I was, in a sense, modeling my car build after the concept one, and kind of trying to remake the one that they released for that.
Yeah, well, man, good job.
All right. I can't help but bring this up, but Wes, you mentioned, I told him that the first time I was in a Veloster, I was in the back seat and I did not know how to get out because I was on the left side and I'm like, there's no door handle, I'm trapped. It's only on the right side here in Canada. But what could you do, hypothetically?
Hypothetically speaking.
What's your crazy Frankenstein plan here?
So I would love to try to find a right-hand drive Veloster, import it, cut it apart, and then make ours over here in Canada into a 4-door one as well. Or do the opposite and make it a proper 2-door. But if I had the car here, I could decide between the two ways. But that's probably a little bit more
Down the road.
That's a Los Santos Customs build.
Exactly.
There you go. Not a Brantford Kia Hyundai channel. Now back seats or the back space, talking on a more functionality or regular day-to-day use, what's it like driving this vehicle? What's it like having your family in here, just moving stuff around?
It's actually been good. So I've got my son who's turning 10 this year. He sits on the left side. He can jump and hop through. And then my daughter with her car seat, she goes on the right side because I can reach it. So that's kind of, it's my daily in the summer months, and they're in it every single day, as you can attest to when the cleaning process.
So people don't know, I cleaned this before
Thank you so much.
we came here, and I have kids too, so the first thing I did was go to the back seats and go Yeah, I'm gonna clean all these kick marks, and yeah, I know exactly. Your daughter sits on the right side for sure, because
she
that
does.
has so many footprints in there.
All right,
Yeah.
and while I'm on the topic of functionality and just everyday day-to-day use, regardless of performance, we know it's a very fun car. There is some great safety features also equipped in this vehicle. So namely, I'm thinking of the forward collision avoidance, which is great. Hopefully you never run into it, but this vehicle does have the ability to stop a collision or apply emergency braking. You also have a camera located right in the very center of the windshield that monitors the lanes ahead of you, and this vehicle will keep you centered in your lane. Then on top of that, you do have blind spot detection. So on your mirrors themselves, which by the way, also have a little bit of spice to them.
A little bit of carbon fiber there, yep.
Yep.
This extension here, very slick.
But on the mirror portion, back to safety,
Yes.
your blind spot indicator will light up to let you know if there's a vehicle in your left or right blind spot. And then as you equip your turn signal, whether left or right, it will beep at you to let you know there's a car there. And on top of that, it can perform emergency maneuvers
Yeah,
to
it's-
avoid blind spot collision.
Yeah, it does alert you quite nicely, as well as it will help you stay in the lane with the lane assisted.
Yep.
It works beautifully on the long drives, especially on like the 403 and the 401.
Oh, yeah.
Setting the cruise control, you just kind of
So it drives for you, man.
it
Very
does.
much, yeah. You gotta touch the wheel a couple times. No, you gotta keep your hands on the wheel, I mean.
Yeah, so holding the wheel, it doesn't give you, but if you do relax your grip on the wheel, it will alert you. It also lets you know that you should take breaks from time to time.
Yep.
Yeah,
Get some coffee, but
Exactly.
All right, and now for the interior. Did you want to take over the interior? Do you want me to do my usual interior spiel?
go ahead.
Do you want me to start? Okay.
There's not too much done aftermarket wise on the interior. I was able to track down the OEM ambient lighting kit that was available initially on the 19 and 20 Velosters. It was never released for the N, but I was able to track it down and then confirm that it would fit. And then we installed it the other day at
Nice.
at
You
the-
can see a little bit of that right here. Yeah, I can see a little bit of that right down there. It shows up.
Now, are you able to change the color, or is it stuck on blue?
Nope, this is just the blue
Just
setup. There is an on-off switch, but it will always stay blue.
Well, you know what? I feel like just by looking at the car, you might like the color blue. There's
Little bit.
just a guess of mine. So I think you're happy with it, right?
I am, yeah.
All right, speaking of blue and speaking of lights, check out those seats. So equipped into the seat itself, we have, of course, heavy bolstering, but we also have an illuminated N badge. I think it looks absolutely stunning. I don't know how well it picks up on camera or how bright it looks, but it does quite shine.
It does, especially in the lower light, like during the evening or the night.
Yeah.
It's very noticeable. It'll shine right through the windshield and that too.
Yeah.
Another touch that I absolutely love is the blue seat belts, as well as the matching buttons and the stitching. They carry that theme throughout the dash as well as on the console, or sorry, the shifter and that too. That was what really sold me on opting for the performance blue, because
That's stock?
everything matches.
That's stock, eh?
Yep, that's stock.
Nice.
It all ties in, eh?
Yeah,
Like,
Nice.
because I initially had been looking at one of the other colors, but I have a thing with everything working and meshing
uniform.
together.
There you go.
It
It looks like it's supposed to be there.
Yeah.
exactly.
Before I hop in the seats, I again want to emphasize the heavy bolstering. How does that feel on a long drive?
It's actually really comfortable.
Okay.
You can adjust the seat in so many different ways. I personally like to ride really low in there, so it's at the lowest setting for my
Height.
driving style.
Yep.
But yeah, the bolstering is quite nice. It's also really handy when you do get on those more spirited drives. It holds you nicely in
Yeah.
place. So
Sweet.
Definitely.
Now, on top of that, these seats are heated. And
Yes.
you have a heated steering wheel. So
Nice.
it's pretty much a winter-ready car.
yeah, and that's actually one of the only main differences between the Canadian version of this and some of the other ones. The Canadian version gets the heated seats and steering wheel. We don't get the TPMS sensors though, unfortunately, where the US doesn't get the heated setup, but they do get TPMS. So
Okay.
I'm gonna grab that from you real quick, talk about some things on the steering wheel itself. And I just noticed another thing. So you have
extended paddles.
I was supposed to say extenders, but yeah, extended paddles on your paddle shifters. So I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but this is an 8-speed wet type dual clutch transmission, correct?
Correct.
Perfect. All right, and it did have the availability of a manual transmission with auto rev matching, I believe.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, on the door we have our Infinity sound system, and Wes, what's that like as an owner's perspective?
It's good. It's very full sounding. It doesn't have any real hollow spots. I used to work in the car audio field before a couple other positions, so for an OEM system, it's quite nice.
Nice.
That's one of the things I haven't modified on the car, so I can attest to it. It's doing its job. So.
Nice.
Here's something that I think is so funny to look at, but only having 3 window controls. I think it's so funny. But yep, 3 powered windows in this vehicle. On the left side, we have some of our standard buttons like our brightness adjustment, our blind spot detection, so you can easily turn it on or off, and then also our lane keep assist. Light stock on the left, but let's talk about some fun things. So on the left side, you have this blue paddle that allows you to switch between your different drive modes. So you'll see it projected on your gauge cluster. We got normal, sport, and eco mode. And then if we press this fun little button over here, we are switched into either N mode or custom mode. So what does custom mode do?
Custom just basically allows you to fully tailor all the different aspects. So you have your ability to adjust your suspension, steering, transmission, as well as the engine, and also your exhaust burbles.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Sorry, Joseph just asked, did they answer the ECU question yet? I did not see an ECU question, but we'll go back and look.
Yeah.
And then Maji said engine light is on. The vehicle's engine is not running right now, so that's why you're going to have these warning lights. It does not actually have a check engine light.
No, it's a little bit too noisy to have started. We wouldn't really be able to hear.
And we'd probably get
point.
smoked out.
It doesn't smoke, but
just push start. Let's see, and then turn it off.
Okay, yeah. Just to prove it to you, we'll start this vehicle. Just make sure they have the key in here. Oh boy. But yes, there you go.
I can't hear anything now.
No check engine light. All right, but you heard the exhaust here. It is very, very loud. Our audio quality is not fabulous, so I don't know how well it's going to pick up or how real it sounds, but trust me,
Yeah, you guys let us know if that sounded loud.
it sounds good. It sounds really good. All right, now for our main screen, this is an 8-inch touchscreen display. You have a mode or a screen option dedicated to N mode, which allows you to do a bunch of things like set your custom drive mode, right?
Yep.
Perfect. You also have a lap timer, a percentage of your brake press, as well as your throttle percentage. You can also see where you're at in your gears and your RPMs. Slide over, and this is where you can play around with your custom settings, take a look at your G-force map, and even turn on your launch control. So the launch control in this vehicle, I definitely will not be doing it in here, but you can set it, and I believe you can set a custom RPM meter that you want it to start at, right?
yeah, so you can tailor it to kind of the situation.
Perfect.
I've not really played around with that too much, per
This
se.
is a weird angle.
But yeah, it's definitely fully adjustable. With the ECU remapping in that, it's very aggressive, so it's not something that gets used often. It's not overly needed in most situations.
Right. And then I think before we finish up the interior, there's one feature in this vehicle that we are losing on all of our Hyundai and Kia vehicles.
Oh,
It's a sunglass holder.
He has one. That's awesome.
Yep.
That's why I couldn't find a pair of shades sitting in the middle.
Nope, they're always tucked away.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's one thing we mention in almost every video. We're like, no sunglass holder, no sunglass holder. So.
It's what the people want.
Yeah. That's the best thing about this whole vehicle. All this time we wasted talking about
Yeah,
how
we
amazing
talked about stuff like the engine when we could have been talking about the sunglass holder.
Yeah, should have started with the sunglass holder, guys.
It is a handy feature, I will admit.
Yeah, it is. It is when you start driving other ones and you go, oh man. Like, then, because I always throw mine in the middle, they're all scratched up all the time now, right?
Oh, a little higher. Perfect.
That's
All right.
there.
Mike
Okay.
doesn't need a mic because Mike is so loud.
Mike is loud. Mike is a mic.
Yes. But I will go through the questions. If there's any specific to you, Wes, I'll read them out to you. But
Okay.
if there's anything you see on there, feel free to read them.
I want to have his car, his voice, and his beard.
Thank you, Christian.
He's a regular. He's a regular.
Ronak also said, hi, Gabby and Mike. At least their employees are also their customers, LOL. And that's a huge thing. So driving what you sell, huge testament.
Yeah, so I was a customer of Brantford Hyundai for the past 4 years.
Okay.
And I went in for a service and was asking them about the 5N, which is going to be coming out. And just sporadically they said, "Oh, you should get a job here." And I just asked them, like, "Are you
Why not?
hiring?"
Yeah.
And one thing led to another, and now I've been here for this is my 4th week. So
Yes.
Sweet. Oh my
And
gosh.
He's doing awesome. And,
Yeah.
and you know what it is, man, and I'll tell you this is he loves the brand.
Mm-hmm.
He knows the car. He knows Hyundai. So if you're one of those people that are coming to buy from us and you really need a deep dive, right, on,
Mm-hmm.
you're buying an N or whatever it is, ask for Wes. Ask for Wes. I want to see Wes, that guy from the YouTube video.
I know probably more than I need to in that sense,
Yeah.
but it's just a passion about the cars. That and the whole community, the enthusiast community, has been really great. I think it was not this past summer, but the summer before, I was actually reached out to by Hyundai Canada and asked if I wanted to attend the event at the Toronto.
Auto show?
Not the auto show, the track up northeast of Toronto, the Canadian Tire one.
Oh my gosh,
Oh.
Drive Festival?
Awesome.
It was actually for one of their race days where they actually had Hyundai's full N team there,
my
and Brian
gosh.
Herta Motorsports was there too. So we got to go through and actually sit in the N lounge, get up close and personal with the cars itself, and it was a great experience. I took my son up
Nice,
with
of
me, and
course,
it was just
Of course. Well, it don't make sense that you work for us.
it's
Right? That's kind of his destiny right there.
Um,
Okay, let me see.
we got a couple nice cars.
We got a lot of questions here.
Yeah, nice folks, air ride. So I think, did you mention it was coils?
it's actually on H&R lowering springs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the see Floyd got it. Maybe lowering springs.
Yeah.
Sweet. How many millimeter rear sway bar you rocking?
So it's the white line. I believe it's 125. It is their most aggressive one, and it's on the stiffest setting right now.
Someone
can't-
go in the trunk. No, no, that looks deep. Like I'd have to climb out.
Ronak said, man, he doesn't look like a sales guy, but a rock star.
Well, hey, man,
All our salespeople are rock
who
stars,
wouldn't want
to
to
be
buy a
honest.
car from a rock star?
This is true. Los Angeles Customs, haha, good one. Seriously, that's how it feels. There's a lot to go over on this car.
And there's a lot sitting on the shelves at home waiting to still go on.
Oh
But
boy.
Do you have any idea of your fuel economy right now?
it's actually not too bad. So I average, even while driving in N mode, it's 7.8 to 8.5 liters per 100 kilometers.
Nice.
So
Nice.
it doesn't get the best if you're super aggressive on the track days and all that, but for the daily aspect, it's still not bad.
What kind of shampoo? I thought this was like a question about shampoo use on
Like
the car.
engine shampooing?
Yeah. Okay. What kind of shampoo does Gabby use?
That's a secret I will never tell.
Yeah.
Let's see. Carbon fiber in the interior would be sweet. If I remember correctly, I think you're, maybe not.
Nope.
I was going to say the
there's-
paddle shifters, the extenders, but that
Yeah,
wasn't
there's
carbon.
no carbon in there at this point.
Why carbon
I
fiber
am-
interior? Why? Does that make sense to you?
Weight
It's
reduction, baby.
cosmetic.
Yeah, cosmetic.
Part of the coming upgrades are the Hyundai performance steering wheel,
Oh, wow.
shifter, as well as the e-brake. So they
Ooh.
sell
Sweet.
in South Korea. They
So
have
how many
the
times I'm
Alcantara.
gonna have to clean your car and we shoot it again? This guy's gonna get free detailing this whole year.
In that case, but-
Yeah, exactly. He's gonna put it on tomorrow. Good question there. What kind of gas do you put in there? 94, regular,
So if 94 is available, that's what I select.
Sunoco 94. That's usually where it is.
Petro Canada 94.
Petro has 94 as
Yep.
well too.
Shell
then-
too, right?
Shell's 91, but they don't have any additive.
Mm-hmm.
So it's either Petro Canada 94, or there's mobile stations sometimes have 93. So,
Okay. Okay. Good to know. Good question.
ECU, got a couple questions about ECU.
so ECU is OEM ECU that's been revamped from N75. A lot of safety aspects have been put in there to make sure everything stays in spec or in check. Sorry, but it's a very spicy setup, we'll say.
Yeah. I like this one. Hit the like button, folks. We've got a new guy in the house. Yes, if you like this car and you like the beard and the voice and the rock star look.
Rockstar
like
energy.
button. Yeah, rockstar energy. Hit the like button. How often do you track this car?
Not as often as I'd like.
It's got a family.
Yeah, there's this, and with some of the other builds that are happening in the garage, my other car is more dedicated to that.
That's my next question.
Wait, how many other cars do you have?
What's in the garage?
Yeah.
So I also have a 2023 Kona N. That one's,
Same color?
yeah, it's a matching performance blue. So the wife drives that one. And then I have a 2001 Mitsubishi Evo 7, which is, that's the toy car, we'll say.
Yep.
Yeah.
That one's got a lot of fun stuff added to it. It's basically a tune away from being a full out, ready to go track day car.
That's
So
the getaway driver vehicle right there.
this one doesn't, it's not this slouch, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Any other rotary fans? You a fan of rotary?
I do. I have not personally owned any at this point. I don't know enough about them. I do 95% of the work myself, so I don't know enough about them to really take that dive yet. But I got a few friends that have had them over the years, and I absolutely love them.
It's a
nothing
commitment.
really, nothing really compares to the sound that a revved out
Yeah.
rotary engine creates. So.
I like this question. What other cars were you considering before getting this car? So when you were looking at it, what were you comparing it to? And why did you get the Hyundai instead?
The Hyundai.
Before I went with Hyundai, I actually had a 2013 Mitsubishi Evo 10. I had come to a point where I was bored with that, needed something different. I'd approached Volkswagen to get a Golf R, Nissan to get a Nismo Sentra, Sentra Nismo, and then also had gone to a couple other brands to get some of their more performance models that they offered. Unfortunately, one of them didn't call me back at all. The other one gave me a really bad offer for my trade, so I opted not to go with them. Then I saw it was a 2019 Veloster TurboTech that they had out in the showroom at the Hyundai dealership. Went in, saw it, absolutely fell in love with it.
We treated you
Purchased-
like family. It was an easy
it was
purchase, great process, of course.
It was
was meant to
actually
be.
a really smooth transition. I went
Nice.
in, looked at the car, got the information from it, and then 3 days later, it was in my name, and I was driving it away. That was in 2019, and a month and a half later, when I went back for my first service, I saw this one sitting in the showroom, and
Wait,
yeah.
a month and a half later?
I had to wait, obviously,
Yeah.
a couple of years,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
seeing it in the showroom, and then, I just kind of was set. I took it out for a drive, absolutely fell in love with the N over my turbo, so waited till the time was right, traded the turbo in on the N, and that's been a fun story ever since. So.
Yeah.
Nice.
But,
Kind of an easy question. Which would you recommend, a 2024 Elantra N or a 2024 Sonata N line? I'll go with N.
I have a soft place for
Performance.
the N's.
Yeah.
The new Elantra N with the facelift is a very sharp looking car. They've also fixed some of, not really fixed, but enhanced some of the features from what I've read so far that the previous generation was needing. The aftermarket world supplied a lot of parts for fixing that aspect up, but it looks like what they've done is revamp that with the new release. I've watched some of the reviews out of the guys out of South Korea, and that's been really, really instrumental in kind of possibly selling me on one of those.
Yeah, there we go. Hey,
Which
man,
I can sell myself now. So
I like this comment. Great presentation, great live. Definitely bring Walker again, which we will, because obviously he's adding to this car. He's definitely a Paul Walker. That's funny. R.I.P. Paul Walker.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a Kona N there.
Yeah.
So we might
Yep.
see that, right?
It's,
we're not
it's-
gonna see the Evo here.
Yeah.
not really
maybe.
the right setting.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, and even the Kona's got some fun stuff done to it. So
Nice. So I'll clean that one too. I'll clean your wife's car
Hey.
too. We got it.
much appreciated.
Before we end off today's video, I just wanted to point out a couple more things. And Brian said, Gabby, he should join our next track day next year. What do you think?
Sounds good.
All right. Good thing about him, he can bring his own vehicle. The rest of us have to use the provided ones. And next up, I wanted to say, so we mentioned multiple times in this video, but Wes is a member of our sales team. And one thing I really appreciate about you, Wes, is not only do, obviously you work for Hyundai, you drive Hyundai, but you seem to be a vehicle enthusiast, not just a salesperson, not just there to make your money, take your money.
Yeah, I think this is car like 43 that
Yep.
I've had in my my time of cars. So I love cars thoroughly, all generations of them. But something about the performance of the N is really kind of held onto me, I guess we'll say. So I'm very much so looking forward to with the new release, the 2024 Elantra N, and then the 5N when it comes out. I'm excited for that one.
We've seen
so.
that. Yeah, we've seen the 5N. It was in your color too, man.
It was.
It's a good looking car.
Well, that was the car that I was asking about information on when they offered me or jokingly offered me the spot. That was the one. So
Well, you know that saying, do what you love what you do, right?
Yeah.
So you're doing it now. And he's doing it with us. So that's great.
Now, a lot of people want to see more of you guys. We sipping over the homie Wes instead of Gabby now. Bye, Gabby. And just like what I said, you guys seem to love Wes. He's got cars for us to shoot, so you might see him again on this channel.
Exactly. Man, his voice is ASMR.
Wes, I think you found your new calling.
That's it, man.
Say goodbye to sales.
Thanks,
So I'm going to jump in for sales, and Wes will just take over. Here's the hat.
All right, thank you again so much for watching. Again, tomorrow we will be live at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll be shooting another interesting Hyundai on Thursday at 2 p.m. Be sure to stay tuned. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications every time we post. And on top of that, just like we mentioned earlier, we're a real dealership. Wes works for a real dealership. Mike works for a real dealership, and we're all real people. If you are interested in getting your hands behind the wheel of a Kia or Hyundai vehicle, I'll have the links in our description where you can reach out to us. Thank you. Bye-bye.